demands action, it demands innovation, it demands us. At the forefront of this movement is the Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, GSAI, we're a non-profit force igniting transformation in Nigeria's food system, thereby empowering farmers, connecting youth, and restoring our environment. In Kafancharo, over 50 farmers gained vital digital tools through our digital skills for sustainable agriculture project. In Kaduna State University also, 100 Nigerian students were inspired to see agriculture differently through our Green Career Advocacy projects. In Abuja, alongside the Yali Network, we planted over 300 trees across the city in the 1 million tree project. With global voices, we shaped development goals at the United Nations Social Development uniting 200 plus Nigerian organizations. Meanwhile, in Kuba and Kuje, around 10,000 young keep cultivation projects bring food for the climate pathways with Tesla trees. Over 1,200 farmers are learning safer food practices in our 8-week graduate training on farm food safety, honoring world food. And across the airwaves, we amplify change daily through our TV show, which is Agriculture Today and Tomorrow, every nationwide on GSAI and Star Times. Behind every impact is our framework, which is the SERP, structural integrity, expertise, resource mobilization, and personal development. We build solid agriculture foundation, we deliver deep training, mobilize modern tools, and develop the next generation of agro leaders. Our mission aligns with global goals, ending hunger, reducing poverty, empowering women, and fighting climate change. Because when we grow food sustainably, grow hope, we grow cities, and we also grow Africa. But to keep growing, we need partners, we need believers, and we need most importantly, join us in rewriting African's agricultural story. GSA.
You sent it here. Is it to have person?
Hello. Hello, good morning, everyone. Hello, good morning, everyone. Please, can we make it better? Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, and we are excited to have everyone here. We want to sincerely apologize for starting a little behind schedule, but we are kicking off right away. You know, now we are Nigerians, and today is a Saturday, so while we wait for the others to come, we're just going to start. Can we have one house, please? Thank you, sir and ma. Thank you. So without taking any more of your time, we want to specially and officially welcome you to Nigerian Farmers Summit NIFEST 2025. Please, if you're excited to be here, jam it together for yourselves. It's not easy to be here. Thank you so much for turning up for this. We have thousands of virtual participants, and I'm sure they are also watching from everywhere around the world. We've done some virtual trainings, online trainings. We had close to 2,000 people online, and almost all of them are watching because today is going to be the official graduation. So please, let's put ourselves together and enjoy a beautiful time. So please turn to your neighbor, because we're here to do a lot of things, network, get to know each other. You might meet your next business deal here. So turn to your neighbor and tell him good morning first. Let's start getting used to something like that, like good morning. Thank you so much. So please, let's be on our feet as we take the national anthem. Media, are you ready for us? Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That's going to serve as our opening prayer for today. And without taking, this is not your regular event. We are going to we'll be led by the ushers. We're going to sign downstairs. Everyone is going to sign. You didn't come to just sit and listen. You're going to be a partaker and a participant in this event. Thank you so much. So please, from there, we'll just come to the exhibition booth. So let's invite our executive.
Please, you can take your seat briefly. Thank you so much, Rifkatu. Thank you so much, everybody that has made sure that you came on time. This is one mark that I think we as the team in GSAI want to create, that when we say we will start by 9 a.m., we actually start by 9 a.m. Today, we were a little bit pushed to start 30 minutes behind time, but I said we needed to start irrespective of the number of people in the hall. We need to respect those that have actually come out early. So please put your hands together for yourself for being a model Nigerian. So if you look at on the jotter you've been given, there is a brochure in the first part of it. If you look at it, you will see we have a well lined out retinue of activities. And the first set of activities will be moving with our special guests and all our participants. Everybody will be going down to the picture place to sign what we call the Farm Food Safety Pledge. If you are not aware, the Nigeria Farmers Town Hall Summit is the last component, is the closing component of our 2025 World Food Safety Day commemoration. Throughout the month of May and June, we have been celebrating and commemorating World Food Safety. We have been creating sensitization and awareness. We have carried out an 8 weeks virtual training, our moderator mentioned. We had over 2,000 farmers join us in that training on food safety. And today we are closing that ceremony, and part of the activities is to sign a food safety pledge that I commit, I support, I advocate for food safety. So we are going to go down, and as many people as can within 10, 15, 20 minutes, sign on the food safety pledge, take some pictures and some videos. This is part of the program of activities. It's not a time management plan. If you look at, there is an exhibition and signing of the food safety pledge. When we are done, we come back up and in unison and go through the exhibition stand, see some of the exhibitors, and then come back in the time or in the schedule of events. By 9:50, we begin the main activities of the day. So between 9:30 and 9:50, we will go down to sign the pledge, and then come up and see some of the exhibitors, and then come back up to continue. Thank you so very much. So we are going to be going down now to the entrance where you saw that pictures place, and we'll be having our special guests in front leading us. And when we come back, we'll do proper introductions. But for now, just follow me and the special guests, and in fact, all of us here as special guests will go down and do the signing, come up to the exhibitors, and then we start the main event. Thank you so much, everyone. Please.
Where is the speaker? Where is it? Where is the speaker? You said there is a lapel, whatever, on the speaker. Well done.
Dr. Bosso, please join us. All right. Please, breakout. Please, think of that.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
So I saw Kabir.
That's my boss. Thank you. I hope you're not leaving. Yes. So when they're done signing, let them come up. Go to the office. Hi, Dad.
We don't have our own photographer. Because we have camera, we are not inside. No, we have inside. Okay, this is the one. See, that guy sent it yesterday. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Card is not inside. I should go to stay for Nasara. The battery, I didn't even put the battery. You know they make sound again. Yesterday was making sound. Eh? We don't remove the battery. There's no battery. You guys should come up. We can connect to Wi-Fi. They have some time. I think I was using your own Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you need to connect it.
You people should go back for the work. Maybe you should. Nobody is actually stopping right now. It was by the speaker, so it's getting sound from the speaker. Maybe you can pull one close to you, then one should be by the speaker.
I was in 500 level. I think it's only my school that added 5 years.
This was exhibition.
This is like tomatoes, onions, berries, beans, yams, rice, livestock, and a whole lot of it. My name is Dignitary. I'm the founder of Supermarket.
Thank you so much. Yes, that's the banga spice. Yes, this is chili pepper. Yaji spice. Chili pepper. This is taji. Okay, yaji, still yaji. Yes. Yaji and all of that. They have the bone fish. Yes. So they removed all the bones and just eat direct. Okay. These are so fish, but this is not the bone. And then they call it loin beans. And then the oil we used to go and buy in Gongoni, we have it packaged and branded.
Very safe.
Very safe, yes. And of course, yes, very safe and hygienic.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Right.
In the soil of Africa lies more than food. It owns our future. That future demands action. It demands innovation. It demands us. At the forefront of this movement is the Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, GSAI, we are a non-profit force igniting transformation in Nigeria's food system, thereby empowering farmers, connecting youth, and restoring our environment. In Kafanchan, Kaduna, over 50 farmers gain vital digital tools through our digital skills for sustainable agriculture project. In Kaduna State University also, 100 Nigerian students were inspired to see agriculture differently through our Green Career Advocacy projects. In Abuja, alongside the Yali Network, we planted over 300 trees across the city in the 1 million tree project. The Global Voices reshaped development goals at the United Nations Social Development Workshop, uniting 200 plus Nigerian organizations. Meanwhile, in Kuba and Kuje, our 10,000 Yankee cultivation project is growing food for the climate pathways with Tesla agro-industries. Over 1,200 farmers are learning safer food practices in our 8-week graduate training on farm food safety, honoring World Food Safety Day. And across the airwaves, we amplify change daily through our TV show, which is Agriculture Today and Tomorrow, every nationwide on GSTV and StarTimes. Behind every impact is our framework, which is the SERP, structural integrity, expertise, resource just green people, it's green possibilities, it's green Africa. Together, we will all end food insecurity, one farm, one voice, one action at a time. In the soil of Africa lies more than food. It owns our future. That future demands action. It demands innovation. It demands us. At the forefront of this movement is the Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, GSAI. We are a non-profit force igniting transformation in Nigeria's food system, thereby empowering farmers, connecting youth, and restoring our environment. In Kafanchan, Kaduna, over 50 farmers gain vital digital tools through our digital skills for sustainable agriculture project. In Kaduna State University also, 100 finance students were inspired to see agriculture differently through our Green Career Advocacy projects. In Abuja, alongside the Yali Network, we planted over 300 trees across the city in the 1 million tree project. The Global Voices reshaped development goals at the United Nations Social Development Workshop, uniting 200 plus Nigerian organizations. Meanwhile, in Kuba and Kuje, our 10,000 yam heap cultivation project is growing food for the climate smart ways with Tesla agro-industries. Over 1,200 farmers are learning safer food practices in our 8-week graduate training on farm food safety, honoring World Food Safety Day. And across the airwaves, we amplify change daily through our TV show, which is Agriculture Today and Tomorrow, every nationwide on GSAI and Star Times. Behind every impact is our framework, which is the SERP, structural integrity, expertise, resource mobilization, and personal development. We build solid agri-business foundation, we deliver deep training, mobilize modern tools, and develop the next generation of agro-leaders. Our mission aligns with global goals, ending hunger, reducing poverty, empowering women, and fighting climate change. Because when we grow food sustainably, we grow hope, we grow communities, and we also grow Africa. But to keep growing, we need partners, we need believers, and we need just importantly, join us in rewriting Africans' agricultural story. GSAI is not just green people, it's green possibilities, it's green Africa. Together, we will all end food insecurity, one farm, one voice, one action at a time. In the soil of Africa lies more than food. It owns our future. That future demands action. It demands innovation. It demands us. At the forefront of this movement is the Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, GSAI. We are a non-profit force igniting transformation in Nigeria's food system, thereby empowering farmers, connecting youth, and restoring our environment. In Kafanchan, Kaduna, over 50 farmers gain vital digital tools through our digital skills for sustainable agriculture project. In Kaduna State University also, 100 finance students were inspired to see agriculture differently through our Green Career Advocacy projects. In Abuja, alongside the Yali Network, we planted over 300 trees across the city in the 1 million tree project. The Global Voices reshaped development goals at the United Nations Social Development Workshop, uniting 200 plus Nigerian organizations. Meanwhile, in Kuba and Kuje, our 10,000 yam heap cultivation project is growing food for the climate smart ways with Tesla agro-industries. Over 1,200 farmers are learning safer food practices in our 8-week graduate training on farm food safety, honoring World Food Safety Day. And across the airwaves, we amplify change daily through our TV show, which is Agriculture Today and Tomorrow, every nationwide on GSAI and Star Times. Behind every impact is our framework, which is the SERP, structural integrity, expertise, resource mobilization, and personal development. We build solid agri-business foundation, we deliver deep training, mobilize modern tools, and develop the next generation of agro-leaders. Our mission aligns with global goals, ending hunger, reducing poverty, empowering women, and fighting climate change. Because when we grow food sustainably, we grow hope, we grow communities, and we also another story. GSAI is not just green people, it's green possibilities, it's green Africa. Together, we all end food insecurity. One farm, one voice, one action at a time. In the soil of Africa lies more than food. It owns our future. That future demands action. It demands innovation. It demands us. At the forefront of this movement is the call for sustainable.
Heart of our fields lies the future of agriculture, sustainable, innovative, and powered by smart solutions. From the rich soil of Africa to high-tech farms around the globe, agriculture is evolving to meet the demands of tomorrow. At the intersection of tradition and technology, we discover smarter ways to grow more, waste less, and harvest greater. Together, we are cultivating a future where every harvest sustains the earth and its people. At the heart of our fields lies the future of agriculture, sustainable, innovative, and powered by smart solutions. From the rich soil of Africa to high-tech farms around the globe.
Welcome back, everyone, from that very short for networking. And please, who met somebody new? Somebody they just met today? I can't see your hands. Yes, somebody you just met today for the first time. Please, can you tell me that? Quick.
Elizabeth.
Who else wants to go? Okay.
Just met Abubakar, my neighbor from Oxfam, and then also Victoria Aliu.
Who else? One, we know we have to balance this. A lady, please. Okay, thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amaka. Sir.
Thank you so much. Please clap for her. Thank you so much. I said, please clap for her. You did not meet somebody. Somebody met somebody. I don't want to clap. It's not like that. Thank you so much for that time out. We'll still have more time for networking and the exhibition as the event goes by. But right now, we're going to be recognizing the presence of our very special guests. They are going to, I'm going to hand this over officially to our moderator, but before helping us take the names of invited and special guests, as they come in, as more of them come in, we're going to be recognizing them. Okay, so to do that, we'll invite our Executive Director of GSAI to come and while he does the introduction of guests. Your hands together for our Executive.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I beg to stand on existing protocol. We will be doing introduction of our special guest by our moderator. She will, once I am done here, she will come up and recognize our special guest. Please, ushers, I am made to understand that these were not provided for the special guests. Can you kindly provide the brochure for all the special guests so that they can follow the activities? Once again, I want to thank you all for coming out on time. I want to thank you all farmers, intending farmers, prospective farmers, agric investors, agric financiers, and governments, private sector, CSO, and different sectors that are playing a key role in the agricultural space. I want to specifically thank you all for coming out and coming out on time. If we are going to change the narrative, I want to repeat, it's important that we begin to change it from little habits such as keeping to time. I'll be going straight into my speech. A welcome address by Mr. Daniel Black, the Executive Director of Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, on the occasion of the first edition of the Nigeria Farmers Town Hall Summit 2025, held on the 28th day of June 2025 at Barcelona Hotel, Abuja, with all protocols to government dignitaries, the presence of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, ably represented, the presence of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Sufficiency, ably represented, the presence of IITA Youth in Agribusiness training program. We have their coordinator here, and esteemed guests and well-wishers. Welcome to NIFATS 2025. I would like to hear a response. Welcome to NIFATS 2025. So it's a great honor to stand before you today as we convene what is not only a landmark event, but a defining moment in our collective journey towards a safer, more resilient and inclusive agricultural system in Nigeria. At GSAI, we are propelled by a clear and compelling mission to transform African agriculture by equipping farmers, especially stakeholders, especially smallholders, with the tools, the knowledge, and the opportunities they need to farm smarter, safer, and more sustainably. Our vision remains firmly noted in the belief that Africa does not need more farmers. Africa needs better farmers. We are not interested in saying more people come and farm. We are interested in saying those that are farming, farm better. Over the last 3 years, GSAI has remained deeply committed to this vision. From the heartlands of the north to the vibrant agricultural communities in the south, we have empowered hundreds of rural and smallholder farmers through technical trainings, agri-innovation exposure, and improved access to markets. Signature initiatives such as our Green Career Advocacy Program, which inspires young Nigerians to explore agri-tech pathways, and currently our 10,000 yam heaps cultivation project, which strengthens climate-resilient farming, are just a few reflections of our impact-driven approach. I'll just take a very few minutes to explain that, or just to highlight on that. Currently, our organization is carrying out a 10,000 yam heaps project in Kubwa, in Chikakore, Kubwa, where we are working with local farmers to employ sustainable farming techniques to plant yam. And the farmers are so excited because for the first time, they are seeing how yam can be planted with treated seeds, with improved seedlings from IITA that we got, and then with improved techniques. We are enriching the soil with organic matter, and we are using different forms of climate smart techniques such as mulching, such as vertical staking, to ensure that we have maximum yield and ensure food safety within our country. That is one of the projects we are currently carrying out in Kubwa. And we have a second plot in Kuje. This year we launched our most ambitious campaign yet, the 2025 World Food Safety Day Commemoration Project, a national call to action dedicated to raising awareness, strengthening capacity, and driving systems change in farm-level food safety, with over 1,500 farmers already reached. Through our 8 weeks virtual training, let me also emphasize on this, from the 6th of May till just yesterday, the 27th of June, we carried out an 8 weeks intensive virtual training. It was 16 classes, 2 days a week, where we carried out training on farm food safety compliance. And the result was exciting. I saw farmers for the first time interested in food safety. And this project was inspired by a loss I made recently, where a friend of mine in the United Kingdom recently reached out to me and needed sesame. What did I do? I just went into the market, bought some sesame. He needed samples first because he had a contact to make supplies. I just went into the market, bought some sesame, packaged it and sent it. And 100% of that sesame was rejected. There it dawned on me that you cannot randomly pick an agri-produce in Nigeria and sell in the international market. A random agri-produce in Nigeria cannot meet up international standard. Then what are we eating? Are we in Nigeria? Do we have a special system that is different from those abroad that we can eat anything? And this inspired the World Food Safety Commemoration Project, where we are trying to work with African farmers, both smallholders and large-scale farmers, because we notice it's only large-scale farmers that are intentionally farming for export, and that is an anomaly. Why are you farming for export? That is, you do some specific things because you're sending this out. The ones we are eating inside here, you don't do them. You continue to use atrazine to farm your maize. You continue to apply pesticide and insecticide for us Nigerians to eat. But when you want to send it out, you are careful the kind of pesticides. You are careful the kind of practices you carry out because it will be tested abroad. So, we now went on this campaign to ensure that both local and export produce in Nigeria should meet up the same standard. And we also discovered that this is because of a huge knowledge gap. So many farmers do not know what is HACCP, the hazard analysis and control points. They do not know that there are safety standards as a farmer. And please, I want to add this because we are going to be bringing out a communique from this event. We are going to have a technical breakout session. And in that session, my first proposal for that communique is that governments, CSOs, every stakeholder needs to intentionally begin to work on the PR, the public relations for agriculture. We need to tell Ministry of Education to stop putting dirty farmers as a picture on your agricultural science textbook. We need to begin to know that agriculture is not a dirty business. In fact, agriculture should be cleaner than medicine. Agriculture should be practiced in the most hygienic and best of standards. And then these things are not expensive. We are not asking you to buy high-tech infrastructure. We are asking you to put in some basic principles. Do not fetch water from the gutter to spray your farm or to wash your equipment. After every farm operation, wash your equipment. These are some key basic things that farmers have learned over the 8 weeks training. They have also been exposed to the different standards, SON, NAFDAC, HACCP, and different safety standards that farmers are supposed to comply to. I want a Nigeria where you can wake up one morning and say, I want to sell outside. And you can sell without having to do extra measures because you had already done that measure. And I believe that very, very soon we will see that Nigeria. So, today's summit, NIFAS 2025, marks the grand finale of this campaign and also the beginning of a new tradition. I am proud to officially announce that the Nigerian Farmers Town Hall Summit will now become an annual event, providing a recurring platform for national dialogue, shared learning, policy engagement, and cross-sector collaboration. Before I move further, I want to specially appreciate the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Sufficiency. They welcomed us with open arms, and they have told us, now that we know you, as you continue, we will be behind you. I also want to specially appreciate IITA, International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. They are a standard in agriculture, and today they have brought in their trainees to be part of this. And this is a huge endorsement for us. We are so excited, we are so encouraged, and we will continue to do more. Now, but this year's NIFAT is special. It is action-oriented, and we are proud to unveil several landmark outcomes that will shape the path forward. Number one, the signing of Farm Food Safety Pledge, which most of us have done here. Thank you to all our special guests that have committed to food safety from the farm. If you have not signed it during the break or before you go, there is a food safety pledge outside where you just need to sign. Show your commitment. Please, when you sign it, take a picture, post it on social media, and show your commitment to food safety from the farm. The presentation of the NIFAX 2025 communique, which will be as a result of the breakout sessions that we will have here today, and an agricultural investment and innovation exhibition, which, as you can see, we have so many exhibitors. And then we will, this word, when we use the word launch, so many people say, if you want to come and collect money. So at this point, I will paraphrase to unveil the GSAI Farmers Vanguard. The Farmers Vanguard is a network of farmers across Nigeria, and we are working to, one of the things that is necessary in bringing change is data. So we are sure that we have the data of farmers, and we are working to ensure that the change is effected. So, to every farmer here today, this summit was designed with you in mind. You are not just an attendee, you are the architect of Nigeria's food security and economic resilience. Your ideas, experience, and commitments are what will drive the transformation forward. Let today mark the beginning of new partnerships, greater innovation, and most importantly, safer and sustainable farms. Before I hand over this mic, I want to specifically thank my team. This has not been me alone. I just happen to be privileged to head the team. I have a team of wonderful volunteers, a team of wonderful staff that have supported GSAI to achieve what it has achieved so far. So I know some are still running around to ensure that today is a success, but few are in the room. I want to recognize our programs officer, Mr. Victor Gobai Ali. Please, can you just stand for recognition? That's our programs officer. He's the man behind our programs. Our admin officer, most of you have heard that name, but you've not put a face to the name. Miss Asmao Musa. She's the one that invited most of you. All the emails you've been sending, she's been the one responding. We have other team members out there. Yes, and the person in our Chikakore farm, our project officer in Chikakore farm in Kokwa, where we are farming the yams, Mr. Moses, please stand for recognition. He's the project officer in the Chikakore farm. And all the volunteers, ushers, the volunteers that are close by, could you just wave? Could you just wave? Our protocol officer, Mr. Dominos. Believe me, I couldn't have done this alone. This has been the work of a superfluous team, and I will always want to work with them. Thank you so much for coming out. Enjoy the rest of the event as I welcome our moderator, Miss Ebaide Ominu, to take over the mic. And please give our special guests the introduction that they deserve.
Wow, what a way to start. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor to be here to moderate today's session, and I must say that going through the trajectory of GSAI and what we've done so far, I am a convert. Being a trained lawyer and of course working in the public sector for the last 10 years, I would say that in the last 8 weeks, I have been converted. Please clap for me. And like you rightly also mentioned, that when it comes to farming, there is a very funny stereotype attached to farming. But ladies and gentlemen, that myth must be disabled. It must be jettisoned. It must be changed. But how do we do that? It has to be from people like From the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Aisha Nasirisa. Please. Thank you very much, Doctor, for being here with us this morning. Also, representing the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Dr. Myro Kachala. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. All the way from Standards Organizations of Nigeria. If you have listened to his inspiring conversation, he did say that we have to live up to standard. And it's a standard that must be accepted locally and globally. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Standard Organizations of Nigeria, please make welcome Mr. Okita Uwem-Dimo. Mrs. My apologies, ma'am. My apologies. Mrs. She's also representing Mr. Yunusa Muhammad, is the HOD of Standard Development, ladies and gentlemen. Now, coming quickly as well, please make welcome Dr. Ifeanyi Chukwunoso Keke. Okay, you're also representing him as well. I mean, please just go for her, please. She's also representing powerful people here today, and we're excited to have you in our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, also introducing the CEO of GMCA. Is it GMCA? Am I correct? GMCA? Yes. GMCA Legacy Wave Limited. Mr. Zamdayu Precious. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We appreciate you and thank you for honoring us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, the project coordinator, Youth in Agriculture Projects. Please make welcome Mr. Adebayo Awotodumbo. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, we have heard inspiring conversations from the ED. He talked about the mechanisms, the methods at which we drive agriculture in Nigeria, and also the need for us to be standardized. What should be accepted locally should also be accepted internationally. And he said something very key. He said farmers should be more hygienic than medical doctors. We should practice more hygiene, you know. And the truth is, when you look at it critically, it's like a secular motion, it's like a secular economy. You know, what happens in the farm would either decide if you'll be in the hospital or not. Yes or no? What happens in your farmland, how you treat your crops, how you plant, and how you drive from planting to cultivation all the way to the value chain would actually determine if you'll be in a hospital or not. That was a very apt one, sir. Thank you very much for that, for that insight. You did also mention the 8-week training, intensive 8-week training. I must say, like I said before, I am a convert, and I'm sure a lot of people who joined that training can attest to the level of training they got. It was deep insight. No one has ever done it, but I mean, you have done it, sir, and you're still doing it. With the almighty and commitment. The family in Nigeria would be a game changer, ladies and gentlemen. With ideas, experience, and commitment, the family in Nigeria will be a game changer. And he has urged all of us here to ensure that we pen our names down to the safety pledge just right behind the hall. Please do so to ensure that we're able to commit yourself with ideas, with experience, with commitment, and we can all hold ourselves accountable to the safety pledge that we'll all sign here today. It is possible. Who says it's not possible? It is possible. In the last 4 days, I have the opportunity to sit in the room with the Afrexim Bank for your annual meeting, and the conversations have been, how do we drive Africa forward? How do we build a formidable Africa? How do we build a formidable people? How do we build a thriving continent? And whether we like it or not, agriculture in itself is one of those ways in driving and propelling the continent to a greater height. Yes or no, farmers? Yes or no? Yes or no? So it means that we have to commit ourselves. And how do we commit ourselves? Commit ourselves to the high standards that are actually desirable, the high standards that are important, ladies and gentlemen. Please, a round of applause for you all to take here today. Please clap for yourselves. Well done, well done. Very quickly, we have heard from, the ED, and we've also recognized the dignitaries and partners present. We also have partners beyond the dignitaries who are here today, who have been introduced. We also have partners, and we can't do this without the partners. There are so many of them, so many numerous to mention, and I should be able to actually mention them, as we go on. But please give me a second, please. Let's quickly mention our partners. He had mentioned his team, remember, and we're going to introduce the special guest. But at the same time, we need to also introduce and also appreciate our partners. Ladies and gentlemen, we have FarmFact Incorporated. FarmFact, thank you very much for being here. Sustainability Solutions Limited, thank you very much. We have Soilless Farm Lab. We have Etel. We have Interfeed. We have Afex. We have GSAI. We have Daysbla Agro Industries Limited. We also have the A by Directory Initiative. We have the Agro and Environmental Services Limited. We have the Cheap Market Deal. We have the LAF. And when we come back, there's more of them to come. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll dive down right now into the next item for today's conversations. Remember, we're here to call ourselves to action and hold ourselves more accountable. Coming quickly is the keynote address. Are we ready? Is our keynote address ready? Yes. Coming quickly is our keynote address person. The person who's to set the tone for the conversation. The ED has done a fantastic job, but look, we should have some other sport, some other propelling factor, some other conversations that we have not heard yet, or we have heard yet, but yet needs to be reiterated. And to set the tone for these conversations, like I said, we would have technical breakout sessions, and would have different conversations throughout the day, which we all have to be involved. To set the tone for this morning's conversation is no other person but Dr. Ugoso Solomon Akihira, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Abuja. And the topic, ladies and gentlemen, the topic, like never before, the first of its kind, ladies and gentlemen, is the role of science and innovation in enhancing food security and safety for a sustainable and cultural future in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please make a warm welcome for Dr. Ugoso. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. I hereby yield the mic to you.
Thank you so much. Great Nigerian farmers.
Great.
When I got an invitation to be here, ED, please permit me to stand on the already established protocols. When I got an invitation to be here, I was happy. I said, wonderful. So we still have a great future of agriculture in Nigeria. Because after independence, agriculture was the mainstream of Nigerian economy. Most of our higher institutions we have in Nigeria today, roads, hospitals, and other government structures were built, constructed using agricultural proceeds. Shortly after that, we diverted our attention to oil and gas. Many people came into oil and gas businesses to enrich themselves, ignoring agriculture. That was the mainstream of our economy. Today, agriculture is underdeveloped. Everybody wants to be into fuel business, crude oil business, and other businesses that can actually boost their economic growth. And today, growth for sustainable agriculture initiative is actually here to awaken some of our hope that tomorrow the future of agriculture in Nigeria is still bright. I will be talking to you on the topic harnessing science and innovation for food safety and sustainable agriculture in Nigeria. What you may have in your program may be slightly different from what is on the board. Anyway, they are still the same meaning. So, poor agricultural practices and production and unsafe food have significant consequences on both human health, economic hardship, social instability, and environmental degradation. We are talking about safety of food. And I want to match the two of these terminologies, safety and sustainable development of agriculture in Nigeria. After we produce safe food, after we make our agriculture to be safer, how do we sustain it? That is why I want to match the two of them. Let us see how we can make our food safe and also sustain our agriculture practices in Nigeria. Observation has shown that Nigeria agricultural activities are not fully leveraged on science and innovation. We regard to our farmers as local people. And that is why when I was listening to our ED, I was so happy that agriculture should not be regarded as the last hope for a common man in Nigeria. Because it is through agriculture that we are able to get our shelter. Through agriculture, we are able to get food. And also through agricultural proceeds. Most of the drugs we take today that are useful to our illnesses, that are used to cure our diseases, are agricultural proceeds or products. But then, we don't actually apply the use of science and technology in agriculture, because we have taken agriculture to be an activity for a common man, for rural people, rural dwellers, for people who are not educated. So, we don't actually apply science and technology in the course of carrying out agricultural activities. 10. The resultant effects of this neglect are food insecurity, malnutrition, and increased risk of diseases. When we don't apply scientific ideas and innovative ideas in agricultural practices, the resultant effect is what we can see today: many illnesses and malnutrition, and also food insecurity. In 1993, Doxy proposed a model of science and innovation which suggests that scientific discoveries drive innovation through engineering and manufacturing, with a first linear model called science pool. This proposal, this theory has the first model called science pool. And what is science pool? Science pool simply means that innovation in agriculture must start with scientific ideas. If you actually want to bring innovations in agriculture or into agricultural practices, it must start from scientific background. Not only that, through manufacturing and also marketing. Application of science into agricultural activities will help you to actually add value to your agricultural products or proceeds. So the first model of this theory is the science pool, which implies that you must pull scientific ideas, you must bring in scientific practices in order to produce and also market. The second model is the demand pool initiative or demand pool linear model. And what is demand pull? Demand pull implies that all the activities we are carrying out in agriculture are demanded. The proceeds we are producing, the products of agriculture are demanded. They are having very high demand. Therefore, you need to actually study the demand for these agricultural products and then key into production. You cannot just produce because you want to produce. People must have demand for these proceeds, for these products. Then if you bear that in your mind, you will now carry out some innovative practices. You will now introduce innovative ideas that can actually brand your products, that can actually add value to your products to make them attractive to consumers. So he proposed that this theory, in the first place, you must apply scientific ideas or practices to produce your crops or animals. And secondly, the proceeds, the products you are producing are demanded for by the public. Therefore, you must apply science and innovation into agricultural production. Then, briefly sketch out the science pull model and the demand pull model. I told you, you must apply basic science or scientific ideas for you to conveniently produce crops and animals that will look attractive, that will meet the demand of the populace. You must apply basic scientific ideas. Not only that, you must apply research and development. Most of the activities we are carrying out here today are research oriented. Somebody sat down, think of a particular idea, and is selling the idea to you people today. That is research. So you must apply research. Not only that, you produce or you construct. After that, you market. If you don't follow this line, if you don't follow this chain, all you will be doing will be useless. Then, the second model is the demand pull model. People are demanding for the products we are producing. So, you must bear in mind that there is demand for your products. Then, you apply research and development. How do you apply research? How do you know that people are having demand for your crops, for your proceeds? Through research and development, you can acquire that knowledge. Then you produce, and finally, you make sense. So for agricultural activities to be effectively carried out, you must apply science and innovation, and you must follow these two models for you to be successful. So, why do we apply science and innovation in food and agricultural production or agricultural activities? Why do you do that? You will discover that today, most of our agricultural activities are carried out using primitive tools. We use our local tools, local implements. Look at them there. All these tools are primitive tools. They are not innovative equipment. So this is what we normally use on our farms. You go to our rural areas, even in urban areas, people use primitive agricultural tools for production. So, we need to apply science and innovation in agricultural production. These are the reasons why we have a poor application of science and innovation in agriculture. Number one, wrong perception about technology. So many of our farmers, they have wrong perception about technology. They don't actually accept the use of technological tools or ideas in agricultural production. Number two, low technical know-how. So many of our farmers do not have the knowledge on how to use these technological equipment or appliances for agricultural activities. Then, production cost is one of the problems why we don't actually apply use of science and innovation in agriculture. Then, conservation. Many of our farmers are conserved. They stick to their natural belief that we don't do like this. I was discussing with somebody yesterday. The farmer told me, in my own village, on my plot, I don't allow use of tractors because the tractor will turn the soil outside down. The fertile one will be buried. The infertile soil will be up. Then the crops will not do well. This is a conserved idea. And most of the people say we don't use fertilizers on our crops. Somebody was telling me yesterday that I don't eat agri-fowl because what he say is chemicals. I don't want to be infected by any of the chemicals. I don't want any chemical to give me any hazard into my body. So many of us are concerned about science and innovation. So we stick to what we know in other days. So we don't want to change to our modern day agricultural activities. The lack of awareness. Many of our farmers today are not aware of use of technology in agricultural activities. I went with my handset somewhere at Kwali. I wanted to detect some crops and diseases on a cassava farm. So when I brought out my handset, taking videos of these crops, in order to detect a particular disease, this farmer told me, "Oga, please, what are you doing on my cassava farm?" I said, "I just want to detect some diseases." He said, "Please, stop. I don't want that." And I did, I stopped. So, lack of awareness of use of science and technology in agriculture for agricultural activities is one of the reasons why we don't apply use of science and innovation in agriculture. The last one is poor training. Many of us are not given the adequate training that will actually help us to effectively apply science and technology in agricultural activities. And I am happy to hear that today people took part in an intensive training, almost 8 weeks. This is very good. And because of poor training, that is the reason why we are here today. We want to be trained on how to apply science and technology in agricultural activities. So, what is all about this science? What is science? If I may ask, somebody says science is described as a systematic order or body of knowledge that uses experiments, observations in order to actually come out with something good. Many of us feel I am not a scientist. I didn't pass through chemistry. I didn't pass through physics. I didn't pass through biology, agric, and mathematics. Therefore, I don't have the knowledge to key into agricultural activities. No. You will be a scientist on your own. You sit down, think of what you can do to actually improve on your agricultural activities. And you do that. That is science. What about innovations? You can also sit on your own, think of something to do that can actually improve your agricultural activities. And you have carried out innovative ideas. Look at what he said. All these scientific equipment, they are used for observations, experiments. And the essence of bringing them into agriculture is to actually help us improve on our agricultural activities and also produce safe food and sustain agriculture. Then, we have innovation. What is here is called, look at what is here. This is a diagram down. This is hydroponic stand. That thing is called hydroponic. Crops are being grown on the water. This is ordinary water. What you can see is just a casing that houses the water. Look at the crops growing up. Inside this, there is some fertilizers content inside the water. Then you have air box. This is what pushes both the chemicals and the water to the root zone of the crops. So we have an air block. This other side pushes air into the container, and then your crops are conveniently grown under this condition called hydroponic. This is an idea that somebody brought out. That today we can call it an innovation. You can equally do that. You can sit on your own, think of a particular thing you will do to actually bring an innovation in agriculture. So, why do we ensure food safety? We are talking about food safety. Why do we ensure food safety? Number one, we ensure food safety because we want to shield consumers from unfavorable health consequences. Our ED said agricultural activities should be neater than that of health services. Yes, I agree with that. Because if we keep agricultural proceeds unhealthy, you are causing more harm to the consumers. So, we ensure food safety to avoid our customers having health challenges. Number two, safeguard public health so that our people will not be infected by diseases. Most of agricultural products contain most of the pathogens that introduce diseases into our bodies. When they are not well kept, when they are unhealthy, when they are unsafe. So we need to safeguard the public health so that most of the illnesses they contract from crops should not be there. Number three, we want to reduce the burden of the healthcare system. Look at the map beside. We consume those beans. Those beans are not unsafe. They are unsafe. They are not safe. The beans are infected. And this young man consumed those unsafe beans and he got ill. He is now receiving treatment in the clinic. So we want to assure public health. Then also we want to assure the safety of exported and imported food products. We export and import food products. Therefore, the products ought to be very, very safe. Also, we want to build trust between consumers and food products. Those people who consume our food should have a very good high level of trust that if I buy from Anthony, the food products are safe and I'll be healthy. Also, we want to increase confidence of the consumer in the food supply chain. There is a food supply chain, and through this chain, let there be confidence that Mr. A came to buy products from me, he went and sent this product out. The consumer said the products are good. So I have confidence in his own products. So let me ensure that the products are safe. Then, how do we assure food safety? How do we assure food safety? Number one, food item must be purchased from a very reputable and services like farmers market. The product, the person you are buying products from, is it from a high reputable source? Does it maintain hygienic conditions? Does it keep its products very, very safe? So we must ensure that the products are being procured or obtained from those people who keep their products safety. Then also, another way of ensuring food safety is to use of clean cotton and boards, as well as storing the facilities. Look at that container. I saw it there with our marketer. I was so impressed. When you keep it in a very safe, airtight container like this, the food will be safe. The food product will be safe. Also, use of treated bags. These are treated bags. These bags, once you store or keep your food products inside them, the food will be assured of having a safety condition. So, these are the ways we will assure our food safety. Then, there is a chart that actually demonstrates how safety food can be processed. Here we have the raw materials. These raw materials most of the times undergo a particular environment that is not actually safe. So we must decrease the level of harmful microorganisms on our food products. After that, we ensure that these products are not introduced to pathogens. This other place, you see recommendation after environment. That is a particular stage where most of the microorganisms are likely to infest our food products, and we will make sure that we do away with them. So, there is a cyclic process of sustainable agriculture. And what is this process? We are talking about sustainable agriculture. How do we go about it? There is a cyclic process of sustaining our agricultural products or agriculture. The first thing, you must make sure you improve on the environment to ensure that this environment is healthy. It's not contaminated by either pathogens or any other thing that can make our food products or food not to be safe. So, number one stage is to ensure that you improve on your environmental health. Where you keep your products should be healthy. The environment where these food products are being brought from should be healthy. The people handling these products or these proceeds or these agricultural products should be healthy. So, the first process is to maintain a healthy environment. Number two, you minimize off-site environmental impacts. Most of the times, there are environmental impacts that cause harm, that cause deterioration, that damage our food or food products. So you make sure all these impacts are shaved off. Number three, reduce environmental risk. In our environment today, there are risks: fire, excess humidity, excess temperature, low temperature, and other risks that are usually found in our environment. So, one of the processes to ensure that there is a sustained agricultural product or agricultural practices, you ensure that there will be a reduced environmental health risk. All the risk in our environment should be reduced. Yes, some of these risks are naturally occurring risk, like climatic factors. But to some extent, you can reduce some of the effect of these climatic factors. The fourth process is to ensure that you optimize the resource use and conservation. The resources you are using to carry out agricultural practices should be conserved. Don't overspend your money. Don't empty your agricultural money. So that if there is any emergency, the money can take care of it. So make sure there is a conservation. Some people will say, I don't need to reserve money. Money can come tomorrow. It's risky. Reserve some money to ensure that the pocket is all completely empty. So that any occurrence or any demand for agriculture, you can use the money for. Then also, high production benefits and low cost production. In agribusiness, we always ensure that we maximize profits, then we minimize cost. So if you embark on an agricultural activity that at the end of it will not give you a profit, that is not a business. Agri is also a business. And the essence of doing this business is to get a profit. So, this is a process that you must ensure that you maximize profits and then minimize loss. So, it's one some of the process that we can actually embark upon to sustain our agriculture or agricultural activities. Then the last one, improve food production. If we don't carry all these processes, if we don't undergo these processes and study this cyclic process, agriculture cannot be sustained. Agricultural activities cannot be sustained. Then after you carry out your improved food production, then you go back again to make sure that you sanitize your environment, you clean it, and start the process of agricultural activities all over. Then, if this cyclic process is followed, our agricultural activities or production will be sustained. So, how can we bridge the gap of science and food safety and sustainable agriculture? I told you there is a relationship between science, innovation, food safety, and sustainable agriculture. How can we do that? How can we bridge the gap? Number one, scientists help us discover the threats unknown to farmers and consumers. Scientific ideas, scientific experiments, scientific observations will help us to identify, to detect those threats that are confronting the agricultural products that prevent us from being successful in agricultural activities. Then, another way we can bridge the gap is to predict food contaminants that pose dangers on human health. Scientists help us to predict. They carry out the analysis, and then will tell us this food is not healthy, don't consume it. This is a very key role of scientists in agricultural production and also food safety. They detect that particular thing, danger that may cause a problem to you, and tell you not to consume it. Then they also carry out thorough research to produce trustworthy data that aids consumers, food companies, and policy makers in making safe and a very good educated business. Scientists carry out many research activities, and they will be able to predict, to tell you what will happen in future, be it climatic problem or diseases outbreak. They will tell you. So scientists have a very key role to play in agriculture. Another way we can bridge the gap of science in food safety and sustainable agriculture is to play a crucial role in ensuring both food safety and sustainability. Today, I am talking to you. This is another way of sustaining our food safety and the future of agriculture. So it's a very good way of bridging the gap. Last but not the least, scientists also play key roles in agricultural protection practices, food processing and packaging, as well as waste management. So all these activities are the ways by which scientists can actually help us to bridge the gap between them and food safety as well as agricultural sustainability. So we have basic scientific techniques for food safety and sustainable agriculture. These techniques are being categorized into two. For food safety, you ensure that you carry out good agricultural practices. Then, good manufacturing practices. We have good storage and distribution practices, as well as other practices. Then for sustainability, you have those practices that can be carried out to sustain our agriculture. Then innovation for food safety and sustainable agriculture. There are common innovative ideas that we can use today to actually improve on our agricultural production. We have many innovative equipment and technologies that are used in agriculture today. We have use of drones Drones can be used to monitor crops, monitor weather, diseases, and other factors that may affect our crops. Then we also have a scientific way of preserving our food. Go down. There are some scientific ways of preserving our food. All these practices, when put to use, our food will be served. Then we have use of aeroplanes that are functional and applicable in agricultural activities today for fertilizer application, pest control, and other activities. Then you have a use of IoT, Internet of Things. This person down here, that is an irrigation unit. You can go with your handset and then command that app to irrigate all your farmland without going there to start any equipment or engine. With your handset and laptop, you go to the farm, you click on that particular app, and water will be coming out of the pipes to irrigate your crops. So all these are innovative ideas that can actually be used in agriculture for food safety and sustained agriculture. By conclusion, I say science and innovative practices cannot be detached from agriculture. Science and innovation are needed for various agricultural activities. This innovation improves agricultural production in all facets. It is important that science and innovative strategies be adopted by GSAI. If these strategies are adopted by farmers for a successful and profitable agriculture, the business of agriculture, the food safety will be sustained. By using these tactics, the organization will actually come to notice that it has created an environment that motivates farmers to adopt science and innovation in order to improve food safety, sustainable agriculture, and also people's health for the future of Nigeria. So, science and innovation are very key to agriculture. And today, I am happy to see what is happening in the GSAI. When I was watching the documentary, I was delighted. I said, yes, agriculture still have future in Nigeria. So, let us harness science and innovation in agriculture. By doing that, we will ensure safety food and also the business of agriculture will be sustained in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that was so insightful. Thank you so much, Dr. Ogoso. I mean, that was so enlightening. Thank you so much. I found myself jotting a lot of times because these things you were saying were very practical. You could actually imagine what he was saying. What he was saying was not far from the truth of what we see on ground. And I'll just run through a few points that I highlighted. Dr. Ogoso said so many things. And at first, he started with saying that for people in Nigeria, a lot of us see oil and gas as where the money is, and see farm as a last resort. And I'll give a typical example. For those in civil service, you would recall that we are only told to farm and not have any other business. And sometimes I don't think that whole proposition by the law is from a standpoint that agriculture is not very productive. You can't make so much money from agriculture, and so don't do any other business but do agriculture. But they don't know. They don't know that that's actually the actual oil well. And so he drove the point home, saying that agriculture should not be the last resort. Absolutely, it shouldn't be the last resort. In fact, it should be a bedrock of every foundational exercise by anyone actually who wants to go into some career. Agriculture should be something that you see as valuable. He said agriculture proceeds in everything, and that agriculture can be used in everything. Look at it from the standpoint of shelter, food security, and even to the medicine we talk about today. He referenced agriculture as one of the major drivers of that. He also said that application of science adds value in your products. He emphasized that agriculture in itself, adds value. Now, merge agriculture itself with science, it adds values in your products. He said there's a wrong perception of science and technology, which is true. And he delved deep into why we should ensure that we actually erode this misconception and embrace science and technology. He actually emphasized training as a sine qua non, training as a mainstay, training as the bedrock of a trend that we erode this myth of science and technology fused with agriculture. Thank you so much, Dr. Okoso. He went on to list a number of areas, why people are still very conserved and stuck in the old ways. He talked about the production cost, talked about lack of awareness, talked about poor training, talked about conservation, and how people are stuck with their old methods. They'll say, no, this is how I know how to do it best. But you know what? I don't want to delve into something new. Being stuck in your old ways. He actually emphasized on that. And he also gave us tips on why food safety is important. Talked about public health, talked about the burden on the health sector, which is true. He talked about the building trust. And something fundamental he mentioned, talked about the trade-trust relationship when it comes to, please, we can hear a lot of noise from behind. Please reduce your voice, please. Please reduce your voice. He also talked about the trade-trust relationship. And like I said before, I sat in the AfriExim's annual meeting in the past 4 days, and these conversations were about trade, trade in Africa. And he said something very fundamental. If we can live up to standards and evolve to the point where we can use science and technology, then we can actually build trust trade relations. Thank you so much for that point, Dr. Okoso. You talked about increased confidence as well. Increased confidence when you actually fuse science and technology in agriculture. Thank you so much, sir. And he gave the how. How do you do this? Ensure you affiliate yourself with reputable sources. That was the very first pointer he mentioned, reputable sources. Ensure you're hygienic. Hygienic in how you drive your agricultural practices. You talk about consumer education, the need to actually educate consumers. Very important, very, very important. I talked about the safety food production procedures. He gave us a whole, 9 years of it. And I said, oh my goodness, this is an actual lecturer. Well done, sir, well done. Also gave us a cyclic process of sustainable agriculture with a whole diagram. And went deep in explaining why those processes are really important. And he went further to say that science and technology and innovation cannot be detached. He says it cannot be detached from agricultural processes. You cannot detach science and technology. If we want to move from where we are currently to something bigger and higher, something achievable, something sustainable, something tradable, something reputable, then we must be ready to infuse science and technology. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause for Dr. Okoso. Well done, Dr. Okoso. That was so enlightening. And please, I also want us to please put our hands together for GSAI. Put your hands together for GSAI. This has been made possible by GSAI, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before Dr. Okoso came on stage, and while he was speaking, we had two distinguished guests who have also graced us with our presence. Remember, we had done introductions of special guests. We are all special, but these people have taken time. They've given their talent, their time, their treasure. They serve as advisory, in relations to GSAI, their family, their friends, and they've also ensured that today is possible, ladies and gentlemen. And please permit me to actually recognize the presence of Ambassador Dixon Omorigi. He's the country director of the Institute of Cultural Diplomacy. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. In fact, when I saw him earlier, and I said, is that not our Oga? And then the black said, of course, that's our Oga. I said, wow, he came all the way. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. Thank you. Also, with us is Mr. Olawumi Ayodele Olajide. He is the Director, Agricultural Extension Services, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Thank you so much for gracing here. This is what we're talking about. All we need sometimes are these people to just sit down here and listen to us. Then we know that they have our backs. Then we know that we're not talking rubbish. The future is here and now, and we'll ensure that we get to that point. Thank you again, Dr. Gosso. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, please, I want us to be upstanding. Quick one. Let's be upstanding for just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, please. Let's stand up. Let's shake ourselves a bit. Let us stand up. A quick game, just 2 minutes to liven up, our moods. We've been hearing all the conversations all morning. It's been exciting. It's been laudable. It's been inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a quick game. And that game is called Stand Up If. Do you understand it? It means stand up if. It means that once I say something and it relates to you as an individual, you will stand. If it doesn't relate to you, if you cannot relate, you will sit down and just enjoy the show. When it relates to you, please, by all means, you will stand. Are you all ready? Yeah. Are we all ready? Yeah. Are we all ready? Yeah. Tell your neighbor and say, this is GSAI. Again, this is GSAI. GSAI leading the way. GSAI leading the way. Now, just get yourself very enthused. We're about to do the stand up if. Let's see who is the toughest here. Who has done some things and has not done some things. Let's not be people that would. Let's not be ajabols and ajatakos. Let's be strong and confident, ladies and gentlemen. Are we all ready? Are we all ready? I can't hear you. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. I need that sound now. That sound. Like, like a challenge. Ladies and gentlemen. Now is the time. Stand up if you've ever been chased by a goat of your farm. By a goat of your farm, stand up. If you've ever been chased by a goat of your farm, stand up. A goat has chased you out of your farm, please keep standing. A goat has chased you, okay? I chased you at all. Whether your farm or off farm, stand up. Off farm, okay? Excellent. Stand up if you've ever prayed for rain and then begged it to stop. Are you praying for rain before? Stand up. Are you praying for rain to stop before? Stand up. You say, rain, come on. Stand up. You say, rain, this rain should stop now. Keep standing. Okay? Now, stand up if you've used your cap or wrapper to wipe your sweat in the sun. With no handkerchief, use your clothes, your wrapper, and wipe your sweat off this. Let's see you. Keep standing. Now, stand up if you've ever spoken to your crop or animal when nobody's looking. Your dog, your chicken, your cow, your maize, your corn, your rice. When nobody's looking at you, you're talking to them. Bro now, please now. I want to have this. Okay, now. Also stand up if you've ever turned plantain or yam into a full meal in your farm hut. In your farm, have you turned yam or plantain into a full meal like bolly or roasted yam? If you are going to your farm, stand up, let's see you. Okay. See, so guess what? Some people have not stood at all throughout this game. Now, stand up if you've lost your slippers to thick mud during rainy season. Like your leg will not stick. Stand up if you've lost your slippers to thick mud or in an erosion. If you've lost your slippers in an erosion or thick mud. Okay. Stand up if you've probably showed someone a picture of your harvest. You're proud. You're ready. See what I want to my back. Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, stand up if you believe farming is serious business, not a backup plan. If you feel farming is serious business and not a backup plan, serious business and not a backup. I suppose I sit down now. Wow. If you think farming is serious business, you gradually stood up. If you don't believe it's a farming business, it's a serious business, you can sit down. But if you think farming is a serious business and not a backup plan, you stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, now pause and look around you. These are not just farmers. These are nation builders. They are rainmakers. They are food heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the real power behind Africa's future. Let's celebrate ourselves today, ladies and gentlemen. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping. Well done, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, good news. The future is here. You can all be seated. Now, coming up very quickly, before we call our first special guest to give a very short goodwill. Our special guest will give short goodwill of 3 minutes to 5 minutes, very short. But before they come up, like I said before, we have an array of partners, people who have ensured that today is possible. And one of those partners are here today, and he has a stand, and he has a good news to that stand. But I won't say what that thing is. I'll call him on stage. He will speak very briefly to us and give us the good news. Are you all ready? Are you all ready? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a market called the Cheap Market Deal. My goodness, that name alone, you just imagine, cheap, be more cheap. Who doesn't like cheap? Who doesn't like cheap?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. All protocols are duly observed. My name is Dignitary. I'm the founder of Cheap Market Deal. Basically, what we do at Cheap Market Deal is we are connecting the smallholder Nigerian farmers to the market. We've been around for the past 7 years, and we've worked in major 22 northern states of Nigeria, working with over 35,000 farmers across different areas. Last year, we won the first social impact organization in the global south, where we work in over 100 and something different commodities. I personally am, so there's no time for play. There's nothing I want to tell you is not head. And so we've all heard it. So the good news is, once you're leaving, I will have a special meeting with the audience that when you use it to cook, your neighbor will ask you. And the good news again is we're working on NAFDAC certification. We have 15 products that's already NAFDAC certified. So when you consume our beans, they're on. I tell you, if I give you my beans and you eat it, you won't get it in the market. Because it took 4 years of growth for me to get it. So even our strawberries, if you get that beans anywhere, come and buy it. Because we are one of the largest beans dealers in Nigeria. Our warehouse contains over 35,000 bags of beans in Maiduguri, and we trade in over 15 types of beans. So if you get my beans anywhere, come and buy it from me. And we have a lot of things that's beside here. When you come, we'll get it for you free. Just pick your onion. We have infused snails. We have snails that have been smoked, and a lot of things that have been produced from our facilities, and they're just free for you when you just go to pick it up and go. Thank you very much.
Did I tell you? Did I say? There was a good news, and you've heard the good news. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some freebies today. Put your hands for Mr. David again, please. Put your hands there for him. Thank you so much, Mr. David, for coming up here, speaking of what you do, and of course, delivering the good news judiciously. Thank you so much. Please finish your voices behind, please. We're hearing you. We'd like us to just let's hear ourselves, adequately. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Mr. David, for that very beautiful rendition. That's a rendition, free things. Who doesn't like free things? That's not for you. Myself, I'm eyeing one being there. So you can imagine when you're done at the end of today's summit, you're your way home. You can pick onion, you can pick beans, you can pick snail. Hey! Weekend is sense. Is weekend nonsense? Weekend is sense. Thank you so much, Mr. David. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up very quickly to give us a very short goodwill. Like I told you, we have backing. It's not mouth. We have backing from the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. And sitting here today is the Permanent Secretary, ably represented, strongly represented. And when you see her, you are aware. You become aware on why she's here. Ladies and gentlemen, to give us a very short goodwill is the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Dr. Myro Kachala. Put yourself on. DK, as a community from UC,
Thank you very much, Rector. You have to be here, and also the Executive Director. So I beg to take more time, please, the moderators. I won't be doing in 3 minutes because I'm representing the Permanent Secretary of a new ministry that was established last year. So I know a lot of farmers are not really aware. And the letter that was sent to us stated that the Permanent Secretary should talk about the ministry. So there's a summary of that in her remarks, so I will take it. Thank you very much. So up to that. My name, as was stated, is Dr. Mero Kachala. I'm from the Department of Veterinary, Public Health and Epidemiology of the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. Our Permanent Secretary would have loved here, but the hectic civil service week ended this time. And so it is actually by told me to come and represent the Permanent Secretary. So I'm going to read out her remarks. Remarks by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, Dr. Chinyere Ijoma Akujobi, at the Farmers Town Hall Summit held on 28th of June 2025 at the Barcelona Hotel Abuja. Protocol. Distinguished farmers, veterinarians, animal scientists, conservationists, policymakers, students, partners, and the press. It is with great honor that I am addressing you today at the first edition of the Nigeria Farmers Town Hall Summit organized in commemoration of the 2025 World Food Safety Day. We are, as a ministry, a very important member of the National Food Safety Committee. So we participated in the month-old celebration to commemorate the World Food Safety Day. I commend the organizers, Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, GSAI, and participants for convening this timely summit with the theme Safe Farm, Safe Food, Science for Healthier Nigeria. The Federal Ministry of Livestock Development was established out of the bold step taken by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the 9th of July 2004 to modernize and industrialize the livestock sector with a focus on investment, innovation, and private sector collaboration. The ministry has a mandate to develop the policies and programs needed to transform the livestock sector into a vibrant, sustainable, as well as globally competitive industry, ensuring food security, economic growth, improved livelihoods for farmers, and maintenance of social harmony. Its vision as a ministry is to build a resilient, sustainable, inclusive, globally competitive livestock sector that drives the economic growth, ensures food security, and improves livelihoods, and a mission to implement innovative, inclusive, and sustainable policies, programs, and projects that address the livestock sectors livestock sector's challenges while fostering economic empowerment and environmental sustainability. You will all agree with me that Nigeria has the largest livestock population, but is still underutilized due to challenges like outdated production methods, poor infrastructure, farmer-header conflicts, scarcity of feed and fodder, prevailing animal disease and pests, aging breeding stock, climate change, and security concerns. These are some of the points that was pointed out by the previous presenter as our problems. The livestock sector is a $33 trillion naira industry that when we unlock it, will contribute to the GDP, create millions of jobs, and achieve self-sufficiency in meat and dairy production, as well as strengthen Nigeria's position in global agricultural markets. In addition, the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development has engaged international partners, policymakers and private investors, and the media to drive investment, strengthen policy, and ensure sustainable growth in the livestock sector. This collaboration, involving key delegations from countries like Brazil, Denmark, and the US, are expected to position Nigeria as a regional and global hub for livestock production and export. Furthermore, to ensure the livestock development remains a national priority, the Ministry has actively engaged with the National Assembly Committee on Livestock Development to outline its vision and policy priorities, secure legislative backing for key livestock sector reforms, and align livestock development policies with national strategies envisaging increased budgetary allocation for livestock infrastructure, fast-tracking legislative approvals for new livestock regulations, and greater oversight in implementing livestock disease control programs. Also, the Ministry has adopted a broad media strategy that includes press briefings, live interviews, press releases, national television and radio interviews and discussions, and then as well as digital and social media engagements. I am calling on the initiative GSAI to firmly believe, to sustain your belief that Africa does not need it. It is important to note that the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development has recorded significant progress in implementing its mandate since its inception last year, and remains committed to ensuring food security, creating jobs, and transforming the livestock sector into a modern competitive industry. Through international partnerships, private sector engagement, policy reforms, strategic investments, Nigeria is well on its way to becoming a global leader in livestock production and exports. As we move forward, I urge all stakeholders, we all are stakeholders here. Everyone here is relevant, that is why we are all here. Farmers, to mention a few, the state governments, private sectors, developers, and everyone, as I have said, to continue their support and collaboration. Together, we can unlock the full potential of the Nigerian livestock sector and ensure a prosperous and food-secure future for our country. Thank you, and may this initiative, which is really augmenting the efforts of the government, continue to rise in strength and impact. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kachala. That was brilliant. I mean, all the way from the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, the first of its very kind in Nigeria. And their mandate is very simple. Their objective is simple. Their mission and vision is simple: to build a resilient, sustainable, and inclusive livestock sector that drives economic growth and improves livelihoods. And their mission is to deploy innovative, inclusive, and sustainable policies and programs targeting livestock productivity, climate resilience, and empowerment of youth and women. Thank you so much, Dr. Kachala. That was insightful. Ladies and gentlemen, she has charged all of us. They need our support. And guess what? We are all stakeholders. We are all what? Stakeholders. We are all... I can't hear you. We are all... Stakeholders. This is for our benefits. Nigeria and Nigerians. And guess what? We all have a say. And she has said we shouldn't stop with the belief that Africa doesn't just need more farmers, Africa needs better farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dr. Kachana. Thank you so much, ma'am. Come up very quickly to give us a goodwill. I tell you, we have backing. We can't do this alone. We couldn't have been here today having a town hall summit for farmers. It doesn't work that way. We must go together. There's a saying that if you want to go far, you can go alone. But if you want to go farther, better, bigger, you what? You go together. And today, supporting us and going to with us together is no other person. All the way from the ministry, from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, is the Director, Agricultural Extension Services, a distinguished agricultural extensionist, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Olawumi Ayodele Olajide.
Good morning, everybody. I just want to run through the picture because I know you have been going through. Sorry. I hope you can hear me. Yes. Quite a number of people here have been going through the training now through the week, and you still have a lot to go through this hour. So I'd like to read the goodwill message by the Director, Federal Department of Extension Service, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, and the Nigerian Farmers Town Hall Summit 2025 with the theme Safe Farms, Safe Food, Science for a Healthier Nigeria, held at Barcelona Hotel, Usetu, Abuja. Distinguished stakeholders, esteemed organizers, I'd like to really give kudos to Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative and all valued partners that are in this hall. It is with great honor and a deep sense of responsibility that I address you today at this auspicious occasion, the Nigerian Farmers Town Hall Summit 2025, in commemoration of the World Food Safety Day, organized under the compelling theme, Safe Farms, Safe Food, Science for a Healthier Nigeria. This theme could not be more fitting. It highlights an essential truth that the health of our people is inextricably linked to the science of agriculture and the safety of what we produce, distribute, and consume. It reminds us that food safety is not simply a technical subject. It is a national development priority that touches on our public health, our economy, and our collective future. As Director of the Federal Department of Agri-Extension Service, I have seen firsthand how science-backed agricultural extension is transforming communities from the deployment of improved seeds to climate-smart practices and post-harvest handling innovations. We are equipping farmers with the tools and knowledge that lead not just to higher yields, but to face safer foods and healthier lives. This summit aligns beautifully with two ambitious national and international agendas that guide our work. First is the Renew Hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which places agriculture at the heart of Nigerian economic diversification and public health strategy. We will recall that the onset of this administration, the name of the Ministry of Agriculture was changed to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. This emphasized the changing focus on the essential object of the institution: food. You will all therefore agree with me that there has been a deliberate effort to put this food issue as essential priority. Also, through game-changing intervention, there have been deployment of over 2,000 tractors across the country, the consolidation of input hubs, and ongoing extension revitalization efforts. President Tinubu is championing a model of food production that is modern, science-driven, and rooted in safety and sustainability. Indeed, the present administration recognizes that safe farms are the foundation of a secure and prosperous Nigeria. Second, our collective efforts today are strongly aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Framework as implemented in Nigeria. Nigerian National Blueprint for Inclusive Development. The framework prioritizes healthy populations, resilient economies, and environmental stewardship, all of which depend on the same food system, powered by science, technology, and empowered rural actors. These two agendas converge around one core theme, that the farmer is not merely a producer of food, but a guardian of public health and a catalyst for national transformation. I think we should all be proud of ourselves. This year's theme also resonates deeply with the National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy. That is the policy that is implemented in the ministry at this time. The ministry's flagship policy framework for modernizing Nigerian agricultural sector. NATIP, as its acronym says, emphasizes the use of science, technology, and innovation to drive productivity, ensure food safety, and build climate-resilient food systems. The key pillars of NATIP, such as revitalization of extension services, promotion of digital and climate-smart agriculture, standardization of exports, and youth and women inclusion are all directly reflected in today's conversation. The policy recognizes that safe food begins with safe farms, and science must bridge between traditional practices and modern Nigerian excellence. I think our guest speaker really dealt with all that in his teaching. So by aligning the summit with NATIP vision, we are reinforcing the national commitment to evidence-based farming, improve food handling, and stronger value chains that meet both domestic and international safety standards. I was glad when Nancy was emphasizing that the teachings we had yesterday, we talked so much about trades. It is a call to action for all stakeholders to work in synergy, that is government, private sector, academia, and see a spotlight on the emerging generation of young farmers, which I know are many here. Those bold, tech-savvy, visionary Nigerians who are reclaiming agriculture as a path to purpose, prosperity, and innovation. Across rural and urban life, we can see youth are breathing new life into farming. We recognize that as a ministry and as a department. We can see your leveraging on apps, drones, data science, and sustainable methods that are revolutionizing production and marketing. We are aware of the turning of agriculture into a business, a lifestyle, and a movement. We must continue to empower and support the youth farmers, not just with land and input, but with mentorship. That's why people like me are here today. Access to finance and platforms for growth. In this regard, we must also acknowledge the power of social media as a force multiplier in today's agricultural space. From WhatsApp groups for extension advice to Instagram farmers markets, Facebook forums for pest alerts, Twitter threads on soil health, and TikTok videos sharing best practices. Social media has become one of the most dynamic tools for farmer education, market access, and policy advocacy. Our brother just left here telling us about his marketing in agriculture. Is a testimony to this. It is connecting farmers to knowledge, to buyers, and to one another, and even to global opportunities. As a ministry, we are now embedding digital literacy and media strategies into our extension programs, so our farmers and youth can grow not only crops, but network, influence, and engage in visibility. Agriculture is no longer confined to the fields. It thrives in the fields. Through extension service, we at the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security are building capacity across value chain, mobilizing youth, mainstreaming gender-sensitive innovation, and encouraging the adoption of affordable, scientifically verified practices. We are expanding partnerships, which is part of why we are here today, with research institutions, civil society, and developing partners to push Nigeria into a future where food safety is not an euphemism, but a reality. Let today be a turning point, a platform for renewed collaboration, community-level action, and deeper investment in people-centered science. May the conversation that emerge from this town hall inspire not only policy reforms, but genuine transformation across France and marketplaces in every state of the Federation. As we commemorate World Food Safety Day, I affirm our department's unwavering commitment to walk this path with you, especially the youth farmers. No communities undeserved, and no Nigerians denied access to safe and nutritious food. Thank you for the privilege of speaking at this inspiring forum. May the Almighty bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Wow. Like a true agricultural extensionist. Well done, Mr. Olawumi Olajide. Thank you so much, sir. That was insightful. My goodness. For those of us who are here and who might not know, these are the field experts. These are the field experts. There's a reason why there's a director of that department. Department for Agricultural Extension in the Federal Ministry of Federal Ministry of Agriculture. To be very honest with you, they are the educators, the advisors, the change agents. They're the ones that help farmers to learn, adapt, and thrive. If you listen to him keenly, you would agree with me. He did emphasize on science and technology. He did say that science-driven food production is rooted in sustainability. He also emphasized climate resilience. Thank you so much for that, sir. If you observe keenly, two of our speakers who have been here up today, they both mentioned climate resilience. To show you how very fundamental that is. We can't water it down. It is what it is. Climate change is here and now. It's a now threat. It's not a distant threat. It is here, it is happening. And how do we get ourselves involved? How do we evolve from where we are to something better and something more sustainable? He talked so much about standardization, about safe food, and he said safe food begins with safe farms. He also talked about how you all here seated here today are the heartbeat of the summit. And of course, the soul of this generation. Did that touch you? Did it touch you? It touched me to my core. Thank you so much, sir, for that. And of course, he did say as well that, his office, through the ministry, are deeply rooted in ensuring that they are thoroughly aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030. That's the AU agenda. Sorry, the UN agenda. We have an AU agenda as well. An AU agenda 2063 also talks about agriculture. So we're not far-fetched, from these things. Thank you so much, sir, for that very brilliant ones. And he did finally say that, a guardian, that farmers here, all farmers, not just farmers here, are guardians of public health. Remember, we did also mention that, speaking to Dr. Gosso's rendition, that when you look at it like a vicious cycle, you do well at your farms, you're hygienic enough, you're not dirty, you do what it takes, you're standardized in your practice. That way, you don't affect even the public health. That way, you're confident and sure that people are safe. The food is safe, and of course, people are also safe. That way, you're also sure of good health and public safety. Thank you so much, the distinguished agricultural extensionist. Well done on that, sir. You can see by the director. We don't play civil service. We don't play civil service, ladies and gentlemen. We don't play. I want you to kill that myth. I'm also part of civil service as well. I'm a public servant. We do not play in the public sector. We know what we do. We know our onions. We know our job. And you can see. Thank you very much for that rendition. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up very quickly, is the program director of GSAI. Please, again, a round of applause for GSAI. A round of applause for GSAI. They are the reason this summit is holding. The first of its very kind, and the conversations are evolving. The conversations are fundamental. the conversations are future-driven, purpose-driven, and plan-oriented. The ED and his team, they were strategic on this. They were forthcoming, they were determined, they were committed with idea and experience. Ladies and gentlemen, take us through a brief presentation on what they do. GSAI, GSAI, GSAI. Let's know what they've been about. And with this short documentary, I hope we, because I'm part of GSAI, even they did not mention me, but I'm part of GSAI. I am by force, I'm part of GSAI. So, we will take you through a short documentary, and this will be done judiciously by the program director, Mr. Victor Obai.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Baidi. Thank you very much. Once again, I want to say a very big thank you to all our participants. So quickly, let's do something. If I say Nigerian farmers, you say we feed the nation. When I say African farmers, you say we feed the continent. And when I say farmers, you say we feed the world. Do you get that? Nigerian farmers, we feed the nation. African farmers, we feed the continent. Farmers, we feed the world. Once again, Nigerian farmers, we feed the nation. African farmers, we feed the continent. Farmers, we feed the world. Congratulations. Just say hi. Yes. Thank you very much. All right, so we want to just say a very big thank you to all our special guests and our speakers in the house, and Director Sir, all the representatives. We say very big thank you. And of course, we are grateful for your presence at this class. I believe all our farmers are happy to have you represented here. Thank you very much. So we at Growth Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, as you've seen. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. All right, great. So we at Growth Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, we are a non-governmental organization registered here in Nigeria, and as you've heard, like our executive director has said earlier, we believe that Africa needs better farmers and not just more farmers. Yes, we believe that we need better farmers and more farmers in the agricultural ecosystem. And then, of course, we want to ensure that each and every farmer in Africa at large pick up sustainable practices across the entire agricultural value chain. That is why the Farm Food Safety Compliance Training came forth in commemoration of our Farm Food Safety Day, right? Which is this very day as we are gathered here. So we had an 8-week virtual training which started. Okay, oh great. Thank you. All right, so we had an 8-week virtual training with farmers all across Nigeria. We had, so please you can display our facilitators that took the lectures through that 8-week virtual training, which was 2 times a week, 1 hour time. And I believe you me, it was excellent one for us, as we had professors from Kaduna State University, Akwa Ibom University of Abuja, and also ABU Zaria, IAR, Soil Sap Labs, and many other facilitators like that took this virtual training through the entire agricultural value chain. Like our ED said, he went on to send something out of the country, and then it was rejected. So we ensured that the training started from not just planting alone, but from land acquisition to land preparation to planting to all the management practice to processing to storage, and how we can ensure that they meet every regulatory requirement for export. Thank you very much for that. All right, so we also have some of our initiative, which is the GAP, that's Green Career Advocacy Skills, which is to ensure, just like me, when I came out from the university, I was lost. As much as I was a farmer, I was just lost about in the entire agricultural space, So I started my service in the Ministry of Agriculture, and then I started getting some, pathways, some ideas. And then that was when we initiated the GAP project. and then so that we ensure each and everyone, every farmer that is coming out of the agricultural space, as a graduate, if you are lost, you can pick up a career skill in agriculture, not just going into the farm, because there are various career skills in agriculture. Yes, and so we also have the yam pea cultivation project, which you've heard of, 10,000 yam pea cultivation project, which is in Kubwa and Puche area also. So that you can follow up with us. Of course, we had partners on board who came on. The entire idea is so that you can gain, not just give to the society, but also you can profit as an investor. And then we also had training. This is a one-off training which we did with Agape cooperative farmers. They're utilizing digital resources for farm record resource mobilization. And of course, we have a good number of initiatives like the SAP project and of course, Honor. You can follow us on all social medias so that you can see all that we have. Also, we have our partners. So quickly, you also display a list of our partners so that we can see all those who have come on board to ensure this was a success. Alright, so before our partners come, we'll just have a little video and see what we do so far. Partners ensure the success of the virtual training and of course the town hall summit we are having right now. So I believe we also have one more video for you all so that you can see a little bit of what we've done so far.
Part of our field lies the future of agriculture, sustainable, innovative and powered by smart solutions. From the rich soil of Africa to high-tech fabs and other fields, agriculture is growing in the land.
All right. So thank you very much. So that is that for us. GSAI. That's
of this movement is the Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, GSAI, a non-profit force igniting transformation in Nigeria's food system, thereby empowering farmers, connecting youth, and restoring our environment. In Kafanchon, Kaduna, over 60 farmers gain vital digital tools through our digital skills for sustainable agriculture project. In Kaduna State University also, 100 students were inspired to see agriculture differently through our green career advocacy projects. In Abuja, alongside the Yellow Network, we planted over 300 trees across the city in the 1 million tree project. The Global Voices reshaped development goals at the United Nations Social Development Structure, uniting 200 plus Nigerian organizations. Meanwhile, in Kuwa and Kuji, around 10,000 young people cultivation projects to clean food for the climate smart ways with Delta agro-industries. Over 1,200 farmers are learning safer food practices in our agriculture training on farm food safety, honoring World Food Safety Day. And across the airwaves, we amplify change daily through our TV show, which is the Agriculture Today and Tomorrow.
Programs Director of GSAI, Growth for Sustainable Agricultural Intelligence Points for the Nigerian market. No. GSAI has several objectives, I'll just say quickly. To contribute to achieving sustainable development goals in Nigeria, for market linkages, to promote sustainable agriculture, for advocacy, for capacity building and access to resources. He did mention at the beginning or at the end that they currently have a TV show. Yes, GSAI has a TV show that runs every day from Monday to Friday on DSTV channel E92 ASO TV. And that TV show is being anchored by the ED himself. Please can you reduce this volume or you pause it? Thank you very much. You know, that TV show is to discuss what they're doing and how to improve agriculture for today, for tomorrow. And it's been laudable. It's been going on for several months now, every day. No relenting, no stopping, no pausing, and the future is now. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up very quickly is one of our partners. They have some good news to share as well. Let's say a few things. Is FAMFAM ready? They're not ready yet. Okay. If FAMFAM is not ready, please, I'll call on just very soon. In the next 10 minutes, we'll be diving into our technical sessions. Very important, very fundamental. We want to hear from you directly. We want to tap on your knowledge. We want to share what we have. And you also have to share what you have. Because at the end of this day, today's summit, we are having a communique which we'll be sharing with the federal government. We are aligning. We're aligning with global and local imperatives. And to go further, we have to all go together. Stakeholder engagement is very key. And we can't water that down. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up quickly, like I said before, we have stakeholders in the room. We have special guests who are like fathers and advisors to us. And we can't overlook them while they're here. I didn't introduce somebody to you who I said is like our Oga, but I won't just say just Oga, he's like our father, and he's taking out time to leave his busy schedule just to be here. He's the country director of Cultural Institute for Diplomacy. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome our father, our friend, our Oga, Ambassador Kingston Obariki, for a very brief advice on this conversation.
Thank you very much. Before I begin, I'm sure many of us know what called Uncle Ben's. Uncle Ben's rice from America. One person was able to feed the whole world. That's why I love that caption. We don't need more farmers. What do we need? Thank you very much. I have a very brief speech here. Good message from the country director of the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy, ICD. The organizer, Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, GSAI. Dear guests, dear farmers, dear attendees, it is with great pleasure that I extend my warmest greetings to you all on the occasion of the Nigeria Farmers Town Hall Summit. As we gather here today in commemoration of the 2025 World Food Safety Day, I am deeply honored to participate as a special guest in this vital dialogue, centered around the theme, safe farms, safe food, science for a healthier Nigeria. Food security is not just an issue of agricultural productivity, it is intricately linked to the health and well-being of our communities. In today's world, where the challenges of climate change, population growth, and health crisis becomes ever more pressing, the significance of safe food practice cannot be overstated. It is essential that we strive for agricultural methods that not only bolster our economy, but also prioritize the health of our citizens and the sustainability of our environment. This summit represents an invaluable opportunity for our farming community to engage in meaningful discussions, share innovative practices, and collaborate towards achieving a common goal. Therefore, by emphasizing the importance of safe farming techniques, we collectively pave the way for a healthier future. One where every Nigerian has access to nutritious, safe, sustainability produced food. It is at this juncture I want to especially query that my friend who came from Jos, or who came from Kaduna State, he gave listless states where he is working. He did not mention my state, where I'm a stakeholder, Edo State. Yes. No, he mentioned Delta. So when we close, I'm going to specially summon him to come and give me 10 reasons why he's not operating in Edo State. At the Institute of Cultural Diplomacy, we believe in the power of dialogue and cooperation as a foundation for transformative change. Our commitment to promoting cultural understanding and utilizing interdisciplinary approach in addressing global challenges aligns perfectly with the objective of this summit. Therefore, let us use this platform to exchange ideas, learn from one another, and forge partnerships that will strengthen our agricultural sector and enhance food safety across Nigeria. I therefore commend the organizers of this summit and all the stakeholders involved in making today's event a reality. Your dedication to fostering a safe and nutritious food environment is inspiring and indispensable for our collective success. I want to welcome you once again, all those who are here, all the invitees, friends and associates. Let us all join hands together and collaborate and join this GSAI so that there can be a change in this country and to have a better Africa that is safe of food. Finally, I want to thank you and I look forward for a fruitful discussion and warm regards. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. Where I'm from, where he's also from, we say Ipadomo. Thank you very much, sir. And then, like Mr. David heard, we shall be summoning into the palace. The other will hear from me. Because, I mean, you have in different states and it doesn't have in Edo State. We should take that up seriously. We should take that. We'll report it to the other opinion and you'll be summoned to give reasons and you come with animals, full stock, drinks. Thank you so much for that very insightful conversation on what you're doing in the cultural diplomacy space. I see a lot of what you're doing, your inaugurations, your launches and all, which is insightful, which is very insightful. And see how you have to emphasize on food safety and of course a better farming for all. Give the example of Mr. Bear's rice. I mean, we knew that rice when we were growing up, it was the staple. The staple product for rice when it comes to rice consumption. Especially in Lagos State, it was a big deal for us in Lagos State, Mr. Ben's rice. Thank you so much for that insightful thought. And guess what? Someone here can be the next Mr. Ben's rice. Why not? Someone here. Like we said, the future is here and now, and we're here for it. But we must, as stakeholders, come together, drive conversations, and say this is who we are, and be ready to take action. I tell people, when it comes to the continent, we are very good at speaking. Oh my goodness, we have fantastic conversations. Whenever we travel for COP or for UNGA, our side events are generally the best. You see Africa side events or Nigerian side events. We'll have food, buffet, we'll talk, we'll have recall sessions. But I do say all the time, what's important is action. Driving conversation to action. Implementation. That's the bedrock of development. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we won't just be sharing ideas as stakeholders today. We're committing ourselves to action. And that's why we have the food safety pledge just outside. Committing all of us here as farmers to ensure that we are bound by our words. We are bound by our thoughts and our deeds. We cannot say we are farmers and not get ourselves committed and accountable. Ladies and gentlemen, just before I call on the ED to speak on the breakout session, which will be heavily driven by some two powerful people here in the room. like I said before, we have backing. We're not just acting alone. We have the ministries. We are aligning with them. We are aligning with the agendas, with the policies. You know, to go further, we must align. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome FAM. FAM is one of our key sponsors, one of our frontline sponsors, and they are here to say a few things. In 2 minutes, she said she doesn't want to talk too much, you know. People that have money, people that are driving, they don't talk too much, they don't, just action speaks. So just for a few minutes, just talk to us, and then we will invite the ED for the technical session. Are you all ready for the session? Warm up. Be enthused, because it's going to be a deep dive.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hannah. I'm a product marketer for FAM, and I'm here to just give a short speech. I didn't really do very much. So before I start by saying what we do, I just want to tell the organizers of this event, I want to say it's refreshing to be in a room filled with people who understand that agriculture is more than farming. It's food, it's livelihood, and it's a future for Nigeria. We all agree that farming is not easy, from raising food prices to unpredictable weather to keeping track of expenses and trying to know if you are making profits. The also is really hard. Now that's where FAM comes in. We built FAM because we've been there. Like the founder, my boss, he was vertical. 3 years ago, he got scammed, yes, in trying to invest in agriculture and everything, and that was what bettered the dream for FAM. He felt farmers need a safe space, a place to invest, a place to keep records, to know that goods are actually safe, secure, and accessible. We built FAM because we've been there. FAM is a mobile app created by a farmer and agricultural professional who saw firsthand how poor record keeping was silently holding back many farmers back. We understood that a lot of farmers have the passion but not the tools to measure the progress, and you can't grow where you're not tracking. This is where FAM comes in. We track your farm expenses in ways that are easy and visual. Record livestock and crop growth so you can know how your farm is doing at a glance. Monitor food and production costs and even your profits. And most recently, we added the feature for crop management because initially it was a poultry management tool, but based on feedback and requests from users, we decided to expand into fish farming, other livestock and crop management. One of our most loved features is the growth tracker, where you can input your data and the app shows you how your bed or crops are progressing compared to expected growth. We also have the investor feature because we know farmers now work with partners and investors. Farms help you keep a transparent report to show exactly how money is being used and where the returns are. It builds trust and opens doors for more funding. FAM is free to download and it's very simple to use. You don't need to pay a cost or anything. You just need to go to your Play Store or App Store, type the name FAM, FAM, and you can download, sign up, and it's very easy to use. We are not just offering an app, we are building a community, a smarter, stronger farming network where data meets growth. So if you are ever found saying, I don't know where my money goes, or I want to improve, I don't know where my profits are going to, FAM is for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, FAM. Thank you so much. I mean, that was inspiring. Just look at the various inspirations we have. You know, today we've had several inspirations on why farming is important and why they had to delve into farming. And even today, one of the objectives of GSAI was birthed from an experience by the ED himself. Imagine sending seedlings. Imagine sending seeds out of Nigeria to a farmer in the UK, and they got to UK and said, no, this cannot enter here because it doesn't meet our standard. And everything, 100% of it was sent back. Just imagine that. All because we failed or we do not know how to align the standards, which is really important. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been here, we've been talking, we've been discussing, we've been networking, but just before we go into the breakout session, please, I want you all to be upstanding again. One last upstanding, and I invite the ED. Please let the upstanding. One more. One more. Let's shake it up. Let's shake it up. Let's shake it up. One more. One more. One more. One more. One more, and we will call it a technical session. Okay, quick one. Let's see how we're faring today. Ladies and gentlemen, remember earlier we did the stand ease. I'm sorry, a lot of stand ease, but so at the end of the day, we all had one common thing together. We all wanted to farm and be great farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, how do we do it now? Do we move here or there, or just raise our hands? Well, let's see how that works. Ladies and gentlemen, now, when it comes to eating, or having food stocks in your homes. Let's start. Rice or yam? Rice. Rice or yam? Rice. Rice or yam? Rice. Rice, let me see your hand up. Rice. You must have rice. Let me see your yam. Let me see your hand up. You must have yam. Okay now.
Rice and yam.
Okay.
Rice and yam.
Rice and yam. Excellent. Now, when it comes to rain-fed farming, when you depend on rain-fed farming or irrigation, which one will you take? Irrigation. Rain or irrigation? Irrigation. Rain, let me see your hand. Rain. Irrigation. Wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, okra egusi soup. Okra, let me see your hand. Okra. Egusi. Ladies and gentlemen, sell raw produce or process and brand it. Sell raw or process and brand. Process and brand, let me see your hand. Sell raw, let me see your hand. Sell raw, there's somebody there. 4 people, okay, sell raw. Excellent. Organic or genetically modified? Okay, let me see your hand up. Genetically modified? Okay. Now, teaching farming to youth or focus on large-scale investors? Youth or investors? Let me see your hand. Investors, let me see your hand. So you like watching? Investors, okay, excellent. Goat meat or chicken? Goat meat or chicken? Goat, let me see your hand. Goat. Chicken, let me see your hand. Chicken, goat, okay. Now, to change Nigeria for good, farming or politics? Let me see your hand. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful answers, beautiful energy, but beyond the laughs, each of these choices reflect real questions about how we grow, how we feed, trade, and sustain our food systems. As we enter this technical session, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep thinking, not just about what's popular or what's convenient, but what's practicable, scalable, and sustainable. Because, really, the future of food in Africa, it starts with the decisions, ladies and gentlemen, we make today. And to declare the technical sessions open and put us into the deep dive. May I welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the ED of GSAI, Daniel Black.
Thank you. Please take your seats. It's interesting to know that there are people that like egusi without draw. It's when I came into Abuja that I knew egusi and draw is a national delicacy. There's no restaurant to go to that you not find egusi and draw. That one is sure. Thank you so much to all our special guests and our participants. I want to assure you. So that was 3 days ago. I learned a thing that hope is very important. And okay, let me not do plenty random thoughts. Ebaide, who is our moderator here, I had omitted to mention, and it's a very, very big omission, is actually the secretary of our board of trustees for GSAI. So please, if you are talking about the owners and the people that, please put your hands together for her. Thank you so much, Ebaide. Thank you for being part of this. Yes, and 3 days ago we went on a food safety field and farm tour to CSS farms. The farm is a 1,000 hectare farm. Sir? In fact, the farm is big, and we were walking around. So at some point, Ebide joined us, and Ebide sat somewhere and was like, I don't tire. And when I told her, do you know that there's food after this? She said, yeah, there's food. And she now started following us to move again. So I want to encourage each and every one of you that there is refreshment in this event. So don't get tired. Please continue to be part of this. I'm sure that somebody that was already thinking, make I go, will now sit and be in the shortest possible time. There will be refreshment. So please continue getting the value. And I assure you, this is not an event that we knew the starting time, we didn't know the ending time. We are consciously working towards ending at the exact from our special guest. It is time to hear from the participants. I go to so many events and we just go and then we go. But we intentionally incorporated a technical session to be able to also listen to you. Because beyond the experiences and the positions that these special guests hold, you are the ones in the field that have had core experiences and would also like to send it out. So one of the outputs of this session, of this event, is raising a communique from the participants. So that's what we are going to be doing in the technical session. And we are going to split ourselves into two. While the technical session is going on, I will want all the special guests to please go and take some pictures and also sign the food safety pledge. And then, but before we do that, I will welcome the two moderators, somebody going to be appointed in the group to also do a 5-minute presentation after the technical session. Presentation on the resolutions of your session. Oh yes, and I also want to, sorry, I just forgot, want to welcome, I talked about the 10,000 Yam Hips project we are doing. It was not just GSAI, of course we are an NGO, and we have partners, we have funders, and we have some of our funders in the house. He's a young man, but I just want to recommend, these are special privileges of those that partner and fund our projects. So Mr. Emmanuel Kasi, please can you stand and just recognize the house? He's one of the people that support us to do what we do, the project we do. Thank you so much for coming to this event. Okay, so we have one topic, innovations for food safety, and it's going to be handled by Dr. Aisha from the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. Please can we come forward? Then she's also, yes, there is also a gender inclusion component that she's going to bring, gender for agriculture. Yes, she's also going to talk about it in 5 minutes. Then we will also have the representative from SON. She's going to be handling standards for exportability. You have all had different standards that you're supposed to meet. As farmers, what are the challenges you're facing in meeting these standards? This is what we want from your session. Innovations for food safety. What are the possible innovations that we want to see or that are there for you to achieve food safety as a farmer? So we are going to be having those sections, but they are going to do 5-minute overview of this topic so that when you go into the session, the conversation can begin. So I want to welcome you, Ma, as you take the mic.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure, and let me say, when the first spoke about agriculture being more hygienic for farmers than a medical doctor, I have a good friend who is a professor of hematology, but the way she farms, I am ashamed to say I'm from Federal Ministry of Agriculture. She farms almost everything you can think of at her backyard, from lettuce to cabbage. She has apples, she has tomatoes, she has ginger, she has onions. She has so much that when you go, you eat food that she has planted in the house and she feeds you healthy food. Now, farmers, it is from you who know how to do new things and get safe food. Most of the time, those of us that go out to buy chicken or eggs, we usually discuss, let me go to so-so because I know the practices are healthy on those farms. So I want their eggs. I want their chickens. We want to know what is new. How do you want us to go? Because as it is now, food safety is at the brain. This hungry nation, we must provide food, and the food we are to provide should be safe. So for the breakout session, before we go there, I want to also introduce you to Gender Makes Business Sense in Agribusiness. Please, just two people. What do you understand by gender? Anybody? I don't want to say what gender is, but it's the farmers. What is gender? Is it male or female? Okay. Director said, don't you have a pointer? Okay, next please, next Director, you know in civil service, everything Oga says is right. So for now, Oga says, my father and my mother is gender. When I continue with this, you will either agree or disagree whether my father and my mother are mixed gender. Next, please. I'm a first person. Next. So, here. No, back. From this slide, you can see it is men discussing about agriculture. It is men discussing about what they produce and how they get markets for it. Look at what the women are doing. They are just going to take care of the children, fetch water, come and cook for the family. But from published researches, those side things women do for the family, they are very, very significant. You know, it is a man, I give house allowance, I buy the foodstuffs, I pay school fees. Those things outside school fees that the children ask for, without them you will see the riots that will happen in the house. Those things outside what daddy knows about. My mom said the rulers in here are broken. It is from that petty business that the mother does. She gives the money to replace the asset. When the uniform is old or the laundryman has burnt the shirt, daddy doesn't even know when she replaces that shirt. So gender means roles and responsibilities and how you take them. Whatever a man can do, I am not saying a woman can do better, but a woman can also do. We have very, very successful agribusiness farmers in this country, and they export, and those farmers are women. So let me say to GSAI, I'm not yet a convert until I see a woman carrying fruits on that side. Thank you. Next. So you can see, when you hear my mother is a sex, I'm either a female or a male. But gender, our roles and responsibilities given by the society. But this society, we have to differ a bit, because they will say women should not drive a truck. I met a copper in our ministry, and she knows how to operate a tractor. So that copper, she's a young girl, she's someone we value so much, with the 2,000 plus tractors that Mr. President has now brought into this country to help mechanized farming. Next. So let me just run through 3 or 4. Please, if you think men should earn more money than women because they are the providers, can I see your hands? So all the men here are lazy, they don't want to provide. Or you want to agree with me or pretend you are agreeing with me. Yes. So, this, you know, now raise your hand if it applies to you. Is a gender, which means it's a responsibility, or is it sex, which means it's either male or female. Women give birth to babies, men do not. Is it a gender or a sex? Okay, now the one that is catchy. The men make important family decisions. You've been in our society today, women take family decisions. They've not agreed. Most here are men. I know. So, women are caretakers and caregivers in the household. Is it a gender or a sex thing? Is it gender? How many men birth the children? How many men change the diapers? How many men tell the woman, please this weekend do not cook, I'm in charge? The farmers are not happy with me. Relevant. So, next. For us, the farmers that are into businesses, I will give this to the ED. It will help you. You have to have a vision, know your units. Your units are, what do I intend to do differently to get more market? What do I put into it to get more market? Let me give you an example. Some people will say they prefer grand square bread in Abuja. Others will say, I love H-Medic's bread. Others like me will say, I love Agege bread, the local bread, it has no butter. What are these companies doing to woo customers, farmers? What are you doing? What practices from farm to make your eggs bigger, to make your onions? The moment people come, they will say, I want this type of onions. Because when I cook with them, the scent is different, the way my food looks is different. So that is, you have to know your units. What are you putting in? How much are you spending? What do you intend to do differently so that your demand is high? But with that demand, inflation will lessen or lower the demand. So what are you doing, even with inflation, that demand for your produce will be higher? You will be selling, no matter how expensive it is, people will come for your farm produce. Next. Let's move. We have to go to my profile. I'll give you all this. Where I am trained, they said we should steal shamelessly and share aimlessly. So just remember, there was one other girl that stood before you and helped you with the market. And when you are exporting, please remember me. Yes. Wait. Go back a bit. The last slide before this. So you have to have a goal to pitch your business. Next. I want to see the diagram so that I will show what the pitch is. Stay here. This is how you create your own profile. Can you see all these adjectives? We don't have time. But if you get this, I hope we're sending this presentation. Okay. If you get this presentation, come here before you go back to how you even pitch your business. You will see where you are. Each human being is either a doing person, a feeling person, or a thinking person. These are words that define who you are. If you are a doing person, you know what to do to push yourself. Let me ask you an example. Amongst human beings, is it the doing that will make more out of agribusiness or the thinking? The doing? What of the feeling? You know the feeling will be wanting empathy, making you see, I bought this 2,000 naira, just put 200 naira for me. Even to transport it from the market here, that is somebody that is emotional. And if you are a feeling person, you buy from that person. Next. So, it is farmers, it is with the acting model, I assure you, after this long 2 weeks or more training, that you know what you see from the top, there is so much below. When Edie talks about how he lost concerning export, please work with the line ministries and know what and what is required, so that what you see, what you don't see below, will enable you to make a very safe, healthy production, and when you get to export, you will become rich. I know in the UK, there is one guy, his name is Alhaji Suya. Do you know how many pounds people travel to the location of that guy? Because he even gets his meat from Kano, let me tell you. He gets his everything from Nigeria. Any Nigeria that he knows going, he will say, please, let them prepare that kind of pepper for me. But we know Nigeria, let them put cloves in it, let them put kimba in it. What is kimba? Some of us don't know. We will go into that business. I'm not a farmer, but I have an idea. I'm a civil servant before I convert like the lawyer. So the acting model will help you troubleshoot and think of what is below, that if I do, I will go into loss. There will be gain. What I see above is women sell zobo. Some people put potash in that zobo. Some people put sweeteners that are in between health and disease, and those that are very brilliant, they will only use the local zobo, the local pineapple peel, little sugar, ginger. So what is it that you don't see that will push you up to sell? What we are interested in, how much we make success out of our family. Is that not? So that is what we will look at. So when you study this acting model, my email will be there. Please, anywhere you stop, just get to me. Next. So now, these are the quadrants of change. We said we want to change. We don't want more farmers, we want better farmers. So these quadrants of change, you look at you as an individual. What do I want? Where do I want to go? What do I want? Who do I want to join? Or who do I want to invite to encourage or improve in my farming practices or in my agribusiness? Then relationships, how do you keep? Last week we had an event and we needed 280 chickens. We want one guy who is a distributor in Kaduna who pulls chickens from some few female farmers and sells for them. So who do I want to relate with to push forward my agribusiness? Then what is the culture? When Dr. or Professor was giving us his talk, he said he went to one farm to capture diseases, and the farmer said, no, I don't want it. You know, in our culture, if you even start a relationship with somebody and you sell more they will say you jazz the person. So who do you want to relate with in your agribusiness? And then what does the system provide for you? There will be 21 states in the country that will be embarking on a project, accelerated results in nutrition. They will give some packages for farmers in those 21 states, and I hope you get it. So whenever you get seed or input from Federal Ministry of Agriculture, be sure it's authentic. So please support the policies of the ministries, the line ministries, the system, and you work, collaborate together. And from here, just going to grow sustainable agriculture initiative, you will move abroad. You will start seeing that onion package in Manhattan in the US, and then it is from one of us. Is that not what we need? So can you clap for me? Because after this war, we will move there, start exporting, and feed our nation, bring back money to our nation so that it's called USD, and the pounds will not be afraid of them. They will crash at our naira. So that is the most important thing for us as farmers. So, power dynamics in business, that is what I told you. The power is me. What can I do? Let me say, I want to provide the whole onions in Gwagwalada this year. All the onions in each market is from my farm. How do you look at that? That's the power in me. What can I do better? What can I do best? What push do I push myself to go higher? The power in action. It's not we've sat here, we'll have refreshments, it's already lunchtime, my stomach is grumbling. So the action, after we leave here, we communicate. Is each one of us going to use it to better what we're doing before? Are we going to change something? Are we going to put our heads together as cooperatives to get funds, to obtain a tractor, to do technological farming? Is it the one on water hydroponics I'm starting to convert? Or is it the one they sell on the rooftop in some countries? Then power with others. You see this cooperation, you people know better than I do. Two is better than one. If they need 100 crates of eggs and I have 40, and my neighbor, whom I know, does healthy practices in poultry farming, has 60, I will just knock on their farm and say, we have a business, we have a market. I have 40, bring 60, let us sell together. That's the power in cooperation. The power over, you pass that, you are enjoying your air condition, you are in your office or in the company, and you are just supplying all over the place. With this, I say that gender and the roles and the differences you make to achieve the success you want to achieve in whichever agricultural business you embark upon. And for those of us that will be in the breakout session, technical session, please farmers, you have the experience. We are just going to submit the policy document and the policy be put in as a law. So give us all your experiences, what you think should be done differently in this country to achieve food safety. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aisha. Like she has mentioned, these slides will be shared to those that registered via email. If you have been receiving our emails, you will get all the slides. I would like you to repeat, to just, let's re-echo this. When I say, okay, Nigeria does not need more farmers, what do we need? You ask our better farmers. So, Nigeria does not need more farmers, what do we need? Better farmers. Nigeria does not need more farmers, what do we need? Better farmers. better farmers indeed, and better farmers we are becoming. So the representative from SON does not have a very long slide. She will just do a brief intro into standards for exportability before we break into the session, and we'll use 20 to 30 minutes for that session and then come back and round up. I promise you we will not go beyond the time we have told you that we are going to be here. And in that period, okay, yes, please, ma'am. Let's welcome the representative from SON. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Doctor, that was a very interesting session. Maybe I'm like that, your neighbor or that your doctor that farms everything and so probably this is a forum for me to learn more so I can be a better farmer too. But I'm here on behalf of my organization, Standards Organization of Nigeria, and when one of the speakers was talking about GSAI, I saw that GSAI has already done so much work training you over a period of 8 weeks. I was trying to rush and write down some topics that they trained you on. I didn't get all of them. And I noticed that one of the topics was food safety standards and regulations. So probably during the breakout sessions, you will let me in on the food safety standards and regulations that you have already been exposed to. So when you share your information with me, that will also provide evidence that you learned something from that training. Then where there are gaps, if there are some that you haven't been exposed to, perhaps I could give you a brief about them. But the key thing we intend to gain from that section are the challenges. Are there farmers here that have tried to export and face some challenges? Yes, so I've gotten some feedback from you. So we will discuss those challenges. From the welcome remarks right from when the session opened, almost everyone spoke about standards. Standards are important for the food we eat nationally, and the whites, they like themselves so much, they don't play with standards. And I remember attending a program sometime earlier in the year, and a white man stood up and spoke. I think it was during World Milk Day. He said, these products that Europe is rejecting, for example, the beans that we have been rejecting from Nigeria, are you aware that we, the whites, we don't eat this kind of beans? It's still Africans in those countries that eat those beans. But as long as you are in their country, they care about your health, because your health can impact their environment and their people. Yes. So we'll just discuss about those standards during the breakout session, and then we'll discuss the challenges you faced, and then we can bring you up to date on what you can do to overcome those challenges so that you can export. So summary, that is it. From the beginning, we've already talked about HACCP. There's a HACCP standard. There are many standards that ensure food safety from farm to fork. So I'll give you a brief on some of those standards. Some of them are just codes of practices. They are Nigerian industrial standards. They are international standards. But because SON is the apex standardization body in Nigeria, we are the ones that represent Nigeria on all standards international fora where those standards. So even where the food safety management system standard is being elaborated on the International Organization for Standardization, SON is on that technical committee. I personally am there. So we have information about all those standards. So it's not just about standardization, has to do with standards development and certification to those standards. There are certain standards that you should certify to if you want to export to certain countries. One of the farmers outside who spoke initially talked about being certified by NAFDAC, and I would like to correct that notion. NAFDAC registers your product. okay? Except maybe if they give you a GMP certificate. I don't know if they give that to food producers, but I know they give that to the pharmaceutical industry. So if you want to certify the systems that you use in producing your farm produce, there are some standards. Some standards are meant for the systems, some standards are meant for the products. And once you are exporting, you must show evidence of certification to those standards. So we'll also discuss how you can certify your farming systems, your products for export. So summary, that's what we're going to be looking at during the breakout section. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Aisha, please, which way will you be taking, left or right? Okay, doctor, since you're seated there, please, you take this way. Please, if you're interested in having conversations around innovations for food safety, you can change your seats right now. Please, you join her on that end. If you're interested in having standards for exportability, please, you join this end, and you're going to have a 15 to 20 minute conversation. In that time, please, I want to specially request all the special guests to join us in signing the pledge outside, and then we now go through the exhibition while the technical sessions are going on. Please, you just take this way and have a 15 to 20 minute conversation. Please, in that your conversation, appoint somebody that will just do recap of your resolutions. Thank you.
Now the farmers have been trained in the hotels.
Asma, please put my group together. please. I don't watch repertoire. It's about a lot of awards. So one person cannot do it. Maybe it is the second or the third person that will have everything. Others will just have sketches. So let's go closer to
Okay, at least we have an idea. Now, during the training, we were exposed to RC by 2000 and allowed. Now, I want us to know that there are standards for products. We have different kinds of standards for products, for services, and for systems. But most of you here would require standards for your products and standards for the systems you use. Classic and ISO and global gap, they are all system standards. Now, this system standard certify your products is not mandatory. There is no other system. For everyone But when it comes to certifying the product, I'm talking after, so I don't know. But I know that all products made must comply to the mandatory conformity assessment programs. It is called ANCA. Yes. This water that they gave us. And
came to observe and for you. I'm here. I'm not coming aggressive, doing my best, make us I know what I do. I give good stuff, but it's not